People often say that only outgoing, confident, talkative people can become great leaders. The type who thrives in the spotlight, loves to speak up, and always seems full of energy. But here's the twist. What if the quiet ones, the people who prefer to stay behind the scenes, are actually better suited for leadership? That brings us to the big question. Introverts or extroverts, who's truly more likely to make a great leader? Let's break it down. Picture this. You've got a boss who's super calm. They don't talk much, rarely pop up in group chats unless it's absolutely necessary. And during meetings, they listen way more than they speak. For many, the immediate thought is, this person doesn't seem assertive enough, not charismatic enough, maybe even too passive to lead. But hold up, what if that quiet demeanor is actually their biggest strength? See, being introverted doesn't mean someone is antisocial or incapable of leading. It just means they work differently compared to extroverts. Extroverts recharge by being around people. Social interaction fuels them. Introverts, on the other hand, recharge through solitude, reflection, and deep thought. And believe it or not, that isn't a weakness, it's actually their secret weapon as leaders. Introverts tend to think before they speak. They're not impulsive. They don't just blurt things out to fill the silence. So when they share an idea or will make a decision, chances are they've already thought it through from every angle. In leadership, that kind of deliberate decision-making is golden because their choices can impact an entire team or even the whole organization. Another thing, introverts are excellent listeners, not just the smile and nod kind of listening, but the real empathetic type. When a team member talks, introverted leaders truly hear what's being said, including the emotions behind the words. They're not just waiting for their turn to speak, they're focused on understanding. That makes team members feel valued, supported, and loyal. And loyalty? That's priceless in leadership. And maybe the coolest part, introverts don't crave the spotlight. They don't need all the credit. Instead, they often shine by helping their team shine. For them, leadership isn't about "look at me." It's about "how can I help you grow?" That makes them perfect for leading creative, proactive teams because they don't feel threatened if someone else is smarter, louder, or more innovative. In fact, they encourage it. There's even research from Harvard Business School showing that introverted leaders actually perform better when managing proactive teams. Why? Because instead of dominating the discussion, they let ideas flow from the ground up. And when good ideas aren't shut down in meetings, innovation thrives. But let's be real, introverts aren't flawless. Sometimes they overthink and take too long to make decisions, which can be risky in urgent situations. Public appearances can drain their energy fast, and being too low profile sometimes makes others think they're not doing much even though they're working nonstop behind the scenes. That's why self-awareness is key. An introverted leader who knows their strengths and works to balance their weaknesses, maybe by practicing public speaking or teaming up with a more extroverted second in command, can become incredibly effective. Look at real-world examples. Tim Cook, Apple CEO, is introverted, yet he successfully carried forward Steve Jobs' legacy with a calm, strategic style. Satya Nadella at Microsoft is also quieter compared to other CEOs, but he completely transformed Microsoft's culture. So yes, if you're an introvert, you absolutely have leadership potential. The secret isn't trying to imitate extroverts, but leading with your own reflective, empathetic style. Because at the end of the day, a team doesn't need the loudest leader. They need one who truly understands them and helps them move forward together. Now let's flip the coin. Imagine working under a boss who's bursting with energy every single day. They greet everyone enthusiastically, lead meetings with nonstop energy, and always have something to say. Before you even finish your sentence, they've already jumped in with an answer. That's your classic extroverted leader. Extroverts are naturally outgoing. They thrive on interaction, love to talk, and feel at home in the spotlight. On the surface, that seems perfect for leadership. After all, companies often prefer leaders who are charismatic, confident, and capable of addressing a room full of people without breaking a sweat. And it's true, extroverts often excel as leaders. They can rally a team with their energy, build connections easily, and create a fun, engaging work environment. They're skilled at networking, which can open huge opportunities for their teams. Their positivity is contagious. When they're excited, the whole team feels it. One of their biggest strengths? Selling their vision. You've probably met people who can explain an idea in such an engaging way that everyone around them feels motivated to act. That's a classic extrovert skill, persuasion through energy and confidence. And in today's fast-paced world, sometimes the success of an idea depends less on how good it is and more on how convincingly it's presented. Extroverts are also quick decision makers. Unlike introverts who might overanalyze, extroverts act fast. In high-pressure situations, that decisiveness can be a lifesaver. But again, there are downsides. Extroverted leaders can become too dominant. Because they're used to speaking up first, they might unintentionally silence quieter team members. That means great ideas sometimes get lost. Their high energy can also come across as pushy, especially when the team needs time to reflect. And because they love being in the spotlight, some extroverts risk focusing too much on appearances, polishing their image instead of addressing internal team issues. So for extroverts, balance is everything. The best extroverted leaders are the ones who know when to dial it back, when to listen instead of talk, and when to give the stage to their team. If they master that, they become incredibly powerful leaders, clear in their direction, inspiring in their delivery, but also empathetic to their team's needs. Plenty of extroverted leaders prove this point. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, thrives on connection, challenges, and visibility. Elon Musk, though socially unique, leads with bold, outspoken confidence. Both use their extroverted traits effectively, not recklessly. So here's the real conclusion. Leadership isn't about being introverted or extroverted. Both personalities have unique strengths. Introverts bring reflection, listening, and stability. Extroverts bring energy, charisma, and drive. And when they understand their own strengths and manage their blind spots, they can both be incredible leaders. In fact, research suggests the most effective leaders are often ambiverts, the ones who can switch between introversion and extroversion depending on the situation. Sometimes they take the stage, other times they step back and listen. Flexibility is the ultimate leadership skill. At the end of the day, it's not about fitting into a label. It's about knowing yourself, playing to your strengths, and constantly growing. Whether you're introverted, extroverted, or somewhere in between, you can lead powerfully in your own way. So what about you? Do you identify more as an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert? And how has that shaped your own leadership experiences? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If this video got you thinking, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who might need this reminder. And of course, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe so more people can discover how to lead with their authentic self. See you in the next video, and remember, keep upgrading your brain.